What do you think with the that you got? The NBA media lied about John Stockton. So recently they were trying to say that John Stockton's assist numbers have been inflated. So Uncut Who's going to examine this claim and he's going to let us know the truth about that. And since we're watching this inflated video about John Stockton's stats, I'm going to end up watching about how the modern NBA assists have changed from back then in the past. From Angry Old Who's fan, I'm going to end up watching that later on, so y'all stay tuned for that one. And make sure to join the Discord, is in the description.
Stockton had 12 points, 15 assists. I had 22 points. I had to have at least 10 assists. I go to the game, I got 1 assist, man. They was giving him every benefit of the doubt, and the opposing teams weren't getting the benefit of the doubt.
Karl Malone at the three-point line. Karl Malone come down, crossover, spin move, pump fake, lay it up. They be like, Karl Malone, assist, John Stockton.
To pass John Stockton?
Yeah.
I don't like saying never, but ain't nobody catching that. I don't know who the statisticians was, who used to do the stats in Utah, but ain't nobody catching that.
You want to recruit those people to Houston?
Man.
When it comes to NBA history and NBA lore, there's an old wise tale, old myth regarding John Stockton I've heard for quite some time, and I'm sure you've heard it too. The idea is that John Stockton back in the day, the 80s and 90s, had his numbers inflated and juiced to boost up his profile as the best point guards in the game. And looking at these stories,
I've also heard that they boosted Jordan Steele's numbers and stuff like that too. Man, they be trying to really discredit the old NBA any chance they get.
You can find players, analysts, just fans of the game, all saying Stockton in his era had inflated assist numbers. They were juiced by the scorekeepers.
Part of this training is they would show us video clips. They show a Stockton to Malone clip, and there's a discussion, and like that wasn't an assist, it was a pass, and then Malone dribbled a couple times, pump fake, and then made a tough shot, and that's great. But like that's to me there's no real connection. There's no causal connection between the pass and the basket, and the majority opinion by a mile was, oh no, that's definitely an assist. I was like, what? Like, well, that's John Stockton.
This was something understood, that you grease the wheels or you pump up the stats for your guys. When he says, yeah, John Stockton, the assertion right there is like, we need John Stockton to be a star.
So stopping that right there very quickly, again, when it comes to this narrative, no hardcore proof, evidence, or data. It's all conjecture, hearsay. I heard something from someone that said this back in the 90s. If you're someone like me, those stories, while interesting, don't prove anything. What I deal in is hardcore proof, data, and evidence. And looking at Stockton, I wanted to find the truth for myself. And to do that, I went back to 1988. I was looking at Stockton that year, his first really great NBA season, leading the league in assists. And for his entire career, his third highest average ever.
He was special.
Stockton in '88 was wheeling and dealing at an all-time great level. And looking at the postseason specifically, that year versus the Lakers in a 7-game series had some all-time games where his assists were oddly high. Game 7 versus the Lakers, he had 20. Game 5, he had 24. If John Stockton ever had his assist numbers padded, it had to be in '88 versus the Lakers in that year's postseason. I was looking at that series in total, 16.4 dimes per game.
It's not true.
He's diamond.
That's impossible.
So when it comes to that '88 series versus the Lakers, a full 7-game series, I watched every game start to finish. And here's what I found. This guy's assist numbers for a fact were not accurate, but not in the way you'd think. John Stockton's assist numbers are actually deflated and not inflated. For example, look at Game 2 in Los Angeles. John Stockton officially this game had 13 dimes, but he watched the film, it's more like 16, especially by today's standards.
Rebound to Utah Jazz. Malone will get his first 2. For the Lakers, missing some inside opportunities, and the Jazz, they've had to work hard.
Aiden's case, it's a little comedy, but when the game is on, he's one serious coach. Bailey over Jabbar, and he's good. Down to 5 seconds left.
Well, they're trying to find Karl Malone down deep on the box, and they use all.
Again, Stockton dribbling away. Till it gets down to about 6 seconds. Ivaroni.
That one probably didn't count.
They're trying to build it up to 6 here. Thorough Bailey from just inside. Now trying to get it back up to 6. Henson over Thompson.
They might not count that one either.
Forcing to find somebody else.
Ivarone is the guy they found. What a shot. Block shot by Eaton, his 7th. Stockton to Kofod. Kofod with a nice. Malone over Rambus.
To volleyball it over the top. 5 on the shot clock.
Kofod alone. Boy, the Lakers just can't get anything going. Utah is right there.
Well, he did everything right, and the ball bounced off Hanson's leg. And
Nah, that's not an assist. I think they probably didn't count that one. That one too.
4 seconds left to shoot, and Hanson's going to
Chicken.
That's the guy they.
And the Utah Jazz to Thurl Bailey.
Nah, I've only out of that, the only one I've seen that wasn't an assist was the one over here. This one right here. The other ones that I said they probably didn't count that, I was just assuming that they probably wouldn't because he said he had 13, but really it was 16. I think they just didn't count. Where is it?
Ivarone is the guy they found. What a shot. Block shot by Eaton. His.
That counts.
Boy, the Lakers just can't get anything going.
Right here. I think this is the only one that's 9 assists. But the other 2, I think they just probably didn't count those ones. But that was the only one that I seen that wasn't an assist for us.
To Thurl Bailey.
Interesting.
So, stopping that Game 2 footage right there of John Stockton, officially on record, had 13 assists. Watching the film, no doubt had more. By my count, had 16.
I see 15.
Exactly. Now, looking past Game 2 in Los Angeles, the Utah Jazz home games, one of the theories about Stockton in his career was in Utah, his numbers at home were inflated, they were juiced. Looking at this series, again, the exact opposite. Game 3 officially had 12 dimes. According to me, he had 15. Game 4 only had 13, but my count had 16.
Bro, so if they would have really counted the same way as they do now, his averages would be higher for assists. Probably by at least 1 point something, at least average higher. Or probably 1 or 2 points.
Then Game 6, Fishy had 17, my count had 18. John Stockton in Games 3, 4, and 6, all at home, has numbers deflated and not inflated. For proof, watch this.
As the Utah Jazz and Los Angeles Lakers get ready for Game 3 of their series, it's tied 1-1.
They refused to take in game number 2 until it was too late in the ball game. Malone quickly the other way. Barely from one side of the floor. Here they're looking for Bailey inside.
That's a great pass right there.
Very early, 7:10 left first quarter. Stockton.
Another good pass.
17-footer, yes. And Hughes did all right while he was in there. Hanson on the
Good pass, assist too.
with a new clock, goes right back to him. He scored it. Malone ahead to Stockton. Green almost stole left. Off to Malone.
Good lay.
Bailey, here comes Stockton again. He's past Campbell. Off to Hanson.
Good pass.
Hanson thought about a 3. Goes baseline. And gets a
Nah, that's not an assist. Probably by today's standards though.
Malone down on the block. Hanson comes from outside.
For the Lakers, it's guards. Stockton, Rambus couldn't control. Hanson beats the field.
Yo, that Hanson dude looks like he's good.
And Malone out of there with it.
Number 20, he getting buckets.
Malone, yes, what a shot. 8 on the shot clock.
You know they're going to use a lot of time. There's the guy that all.
Rebound, Stockton. Where did he come from? To Malone. No foul. The Utah team. So on behalf of Miller Lite, Turner Broadcasting proud to donate $1,000.
I feel like 2 of those wasn't assists by 90 standards, I feel like. But what do I know though?
So, stopping that footage right there very quickly.
Y'all let me know. Do y'all think those were 15 assists or y'all think those 2 also weren't that I said?
When it comes to Games 3, 4, and 6, all games at home for Utah, the assist numbers were deflated, not inflated. As looking at his average, according to NBA history, it was only 14.0. According to my count, more like 16.3. That for a 3-game sample size is a pretty big discrepancy. And once he improved, Stockton didn't have juice numbers, he actually had deflated numbers.
They was giving
the stretch that they're saying his numbers were juiced in that, yeah, that Malone was just catching it, having to do a spin, like cross from 3-point line. They chatting. They just lying. That's definitely cap. For sure. He got legit assists.
Every benefit of the doubt.
Liar!
Now, speaking of big-time gaudy stat numbers, we have Game 5 in Los Angeles where Stockton, on record, had 24 dimes. Now, this game is pretty peculiar. As looking at the game John Stockton, he was wheeling and dealing. But watching the film, I only found 23 assists. Of course, one short. And you might say, why was that? Well, here's my thoughts. Back in 1988 for these games, I'm assuming there was only one channel to watch. So with that being the case, multiple games going on, they'd switch over here and there, leave the Lakers game, check in on Boston, Dallas, whoever it may be. For some reason in the 80s, especially this game, they did that over and over again.
First whistle of the game, and right now we're going to go back to our studios. Craig Sager is going to have news on that Dallas-Denver contest.
Thank you, Pete. The fifth game of LA-Utah just beginning, but the fifth game of Dallas and Denver is about ready to...
This is how it used to be, one channel? And this is what Craig Sager was popular from? Dang, so y'all couldn't, like... So if you're trying to watch basketball back then, and you want to watch your favorite team, they can just switch it to another team randomly? Like, if they feel like it's like... Yeah, I gotta explain that to me better. I'm confused on that.
1 minute,
I'm confused on
37
that.
seconds later.
Mavericks 109, Nuggets 104. Let's go back to Atlanta now and Craig Sager. And Game 6 of that series will be Thursday night. We, of course, will have that right here on Superstation TBS. The final in just a minute. But let's go back to Pete Van Weeren and Steve Jones at the Forum in L.A., where the Lakers are taking on the Utah Jazz.
So that right there is unfortunate. If you ask me, that one John Stockton assist that isn't on record, it's somewhere buried in those clips that were not recorded on TV. Now looking at Game 7, back to the same old...
Okay. I see, so he thinks that's probably why he didn't peep the assist. But either way, it's one assist off. It's one.
Story. On record, Stockton had 20 dimes. That for Game 7 is a record. But looking at the count, it wasn't 20, it was actually 21.
Their style of ball.
A very patient team in games that they've won. Malone goes baseline and it's blocked out. He's really performed a clinic on what a game.
Yo, Malone really giving Kareem buckets like that.
Earl Bailey with a steal. 2-on-1. Bailey. It's half 4 for the Jazz.
Dang, is the legendary elite big man era over? Cause y'all had a lot of elite big man legends that's gonna be in the Hall of Fame in the 90s and 80s. Is that like over now? Unless Wemby can, right? Or Wemby and Jokic, really. We got
Malone against Michael Thompson and
Shagun's nice.
4-on-3.
He got some promise.
Karl Malone goes baseline for the back. Stockton baseline. 3-point attempt for Hansen, and he...
Now Utah's got to do a better job with their set offense.
143 Lakers. Trying to get it to Malone. He does in good position against Michael Thompson.
Hey, Malone getting to the... Yo, Malone got game.
8 on the shot clock. Malone.
Responsibility.
Malone got game.
Defensively, and that's leaving Byron Scott open.
Hansen with a 3.
Years ago would be a dead crowd, and now we hear them. They're really into this game.
And Hansen nearly lost.
I like Hansen game too a little bit from what I'm seeing.
To go in the third. Karl Malone fights his way in and gets the back. Lakers 18 to 22. Hansen into the hands of Stockton with 6 minutes to go. Bailey.
Good pass.
John Stockton on the turnover.
And that would have been a playoff record for him, high, because his high is in this series with 29.
Damn! So stopping that Game 7 footage right...
Yo, who is that Hansen dude, though? That's the real question in this video. Who is that Hansen dude? Because the question about John Stockton assists being inflated is cap. That's just a modern NBA propaganda trying to keep on. Chris Paul really tried to say and come out and talk about nobody's going to touch. I hope he wasn't saying nobody's going to touch the record, sarcastically trying to emphasize that Stockton was cheating, talking about the Jazz. I hope he's not trying to be like that, bruh. Because, bro, no. He was getting them assists, CP.
Right there, looking at the entire series in totality, John Stockton on record officially had 115 dimes this series. That for a single series is a record. And look at the average, 16.4. Now, like we saw this entire video, those numbers are far from accurate. As looking at my count, total assists for John Stockton, 125. That average, 17.9. That right there for a 7-game sample size is a pretty big difference. And looking at percentage-wise, the 9% margin of error from my count versus the official NBA count. And looking at Game 5 in particular, that is the only game John Stockton technically had an inflated assist number. 23, not 24. But besides that, Games 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7, the assist numbers are not accurate and they're actually deflated.
Even so,
when you want to talk stats and numbers, points, boards, and assists, at face value, they seem pretty straightforward and simple. A point's a point, rebound's a rebound, an assist, an assist. But like we see over and over again, the boundary for what's an assist, now versus then, have expanded year by year.
That Olive. Rabiato's really spicy. Laravia floater got it.
That's an assist.
Bring it down to the top of his head. He keeps it up as high as he can. The greatest at that was Kevin McHale.
And then, Malone dribbled a couple times, pump fake, and then, made a tough shot, and that's great. But, that's, to me, there's no real connection. There's no causal connection between the pass and the basket. And
bro, if you could pass somebody the ball and then set a screen for them to get the bucket, that's not an assist.
The majority opinion by a mile was, oh, no, that's definitely an assist. I was like, what?
That's not an assist either.
Alex Caruso, a staunch defender, active hands. Got that steal. Dosunmu downhill with the lane. And
Karl Malone at the three-point line. Karl Malone come down, crossover, spin move, pump fake, lay it up. They be like, Karl Malone, assist, John Stockton.
Now, stopping those clips right there very quickly.
Is that O.J. Simpson, bro?
The 2010s era the 2020s era, what assist actually is pretty wide-ranging. So if you want to compare eras, and you say John Stockton's era, the numbers are fake, inflated, you can say...
Based off what I just seen with those assists, they counted every single thing he's looked at as an assist for sure. Because the ones I was saying was better than the ones he just showed.
All day long. But at the same time, look at your own era and what an assist actually is. Long story short, in today's era what sells is stats, offense, triple doubles, and gaudy numbers. And how you get bigger numbers is an inflating assist and making what an assist is pretty wide ranging. As always, thank you guys for watching.
Man, shout out to Uncut Hoops for debunking that little myth that he trying to discredit Stockton on his assist. And sorry, CP, man, you're not gonna pass him an assist, and you probably play more games. You might even try to keep playing multiple seasons to pass it, but you're not going to.